What is popping, y'all? This is your girl Sophia with a productivity video today for you with a whole lot of really good advice. I'm gonna be wrapped in my blanket today for this video, okay? Because I have reasons. I'll explain you. This is justified, I promise you. But this video will be helpful whether you are a student, whether you are working, whether you're trying to combine both, where there's just like 70,000 things that you want to be doing every single day, and you just feel like you just cannot quite catch up to your own expectations about yourself. So without any further ado, let's get right into the 7 tips that I have for you today that have helped me and will definitely help you. To start us off with the number 1 tip, I call it time blocking. Power hour. One of the biggest reasons you might not be as productive as you want to be is you let life get in the way. You let your feelings, you let the way you feel this morning or this afternoon get in the way, alter your plans. If you had any, maybe most likely you don't even have any, and you just kind of let life dictate what you're going to be working on. And I'm absolutely guilty of that myself sometimes. But here's how it works. We don't plan things. We don't have that 1 hour power hour that I'm going to talk to you about. And we just kind of like sit in the office or like go to school or like both, and we just kind of like wait for things to happen to us. For example, we're waiting for an email to tell us what to do, and while we're in the process of waiting for the next thing to come to us, we're like scrolling our phone. I would check like news at work and like all these like things that have nothing to do with anything, and then by the end of the day just like, oh, like what did I do today? So here's how you're gonna fix it, and this is what has been really helpful to me, is once you wake up and like do all your stuff, you have to time block everything. You have to put everything on a calendar or your little Notion or your to-do list on it, like whatever works for you, whether it's a to-do list, whether it's like a calendar, but you have to plan things. So for example, it might look like 9 a.m. class, 12 a.m. I'm at work, 2 p.m. have lunch, 1:30 watch a video on YouTube about how to do this and that for work, 3:30 have a meeting at work, 4:30 work on that report, 5 go home and like do this, 6 o'clock go exercise, stuff like that. You have to put it on your calendar, or otherwise it's just like not happening. If you are not planning things, they're not happening. So the first thing that you're going to do every time once you wake up and once you get your morning routine out of the way is you're going to sit down and plan every single thing that you want to do today. And sometimes, understand, life happens and you can plan one thing and something completely different ends up happening. For example, I can show you just this one thing that happened to me today and yesterday. I was planning to spend like 2 hours max on editing this one video that I recently posted. I ended up spending 2 days because of like all sorts of unforeseen circumstances, and that's okay. As long as you just put it on your calendar, you at least know exactly what your day looks like and what you need to be working on. That kind of gives you less room to just float throughout your day and do random things. You actually have a plan set for you. A pro tip I want to give for that one life hack is I do that once I check my emails. I first check my emails. I don't check my emails on my calendar. I check my emails first, because a lot of the times, and you might not be in the same situation that I am, but I'm just like telling what works for me. A lot of the time, something in those emails come to you that you have to take care of immediately. Let's say like initially you thought that you were going to work on this and that on like a Monday or whatever, and then like on Monday morning, you open up your emails and see that you have to have a meeting with this person, you have to have this submitted by today's afternoon, you know what I'm talking about? Or like there's an important deadline that you missed from school, or like is approaching and you didn't know that beforehand. So first of all, check your emails and make sure there's like nothing urgent that requires your immediate attention, or like complete change of plans for today, and only then you can start planning things that you actually want to accomplish and do today. Hack number 2 is called 3 non-negotiables, and I want you to take that so seriously, because oftentimes we're trying to do anything and everything at once, and it's like, oh, like I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'm going to go grocery shopping for 2 hours, and I'm going to film content, and I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to do my homework, and I'm going to go to work. We're trying to fit so many things in one day, and it's just not possible to do. Even if it is, because sometimes we do have those days when we, like today, I'm like on 14,000 energy drinks, and I'm like super hyper and everything. But sometimes you have those days when it looks like you can do anything and everything, and you actually might accomplish most of the things that you wanted to do. But the thing is, this is not sustainable. You might do this for 1 or 2 days, but this is long-term not sustainable. So what I want you to do instead of trying to accomplish everything in one day is set up 3 non-negotiable things for yourself yourself that you have to do it today. First of all, those things have to be on a difficulty level. They cannot just be something that you can like write an email or like whatever. No, those are not the things that we want on there, because those are like super simple. Something that is quite challenging but not impossible to do, and there's only 3 things. And those 3 things, once you accomplish them, you can safely say your day has gone really good and you've done a lot. So you won't feel guilty about not doing anything or whatever, because those are 3 things. And if you want to do more, you absolutely can. But if you only end up completing only those 3 things, it's okay. You can still feel accomplished. You can still like safely, without feeling guilty or anything, go like watch your favorite TV show, go out with friends. As long as you accomplish the 3 non-negotiables, you can feel free to do whatever you want to. And again, if you want to complete things on top of that, you absolutely can. Hack number 3 is utilize your calendar. Some of the most effective women that I've ever met in my entire life, including my host mom, shout out to this woman. She is insane in like the best way possible. She is so organized. She has 5 children, okay? Like I think that alone is just insane. But the point that I'm doing is the most effective women that I've met, including my host mother, they live in their calendar. There's not a thing that doesn't go into their calendar. So for example, any oil change, any salon appointment, any medical appointment, kids, extracurriculum, school, classes, like subscription, like everything is on their calendar. And there's just like so much power into having everything so meticulously organized. It's almost like there's no room for chaos in your life. I will share a little story that personally happened to me. I booked an appointment with a gynecologist, which is really hard to get a hold of. He's like booked for months in advance. And I remember I booked it on the same day that I either had an interview for a job or like something going in school or work, I don't remember. And I ended up not even knowing that I had this appointment, and the clinic called me and they were like, oh, like we're so sorry that you like didn't make it today. And I'm like, wait, what? And so now it's been, I think, 3rd month that I'm waiting. The moral of the story is, because I have not put it on my calendar and there's like a schedule conflict in there, and I didn't even know that it was happening because I just didn't put it anywhere, neither in my reminders nor in my calendar, nowhere. And I ended up postponing this appointment for months. And I don't know about you guys, but I take my health pretty seriously, and this was literally like the biggest freaking flop I've done probably this year in terms of scheduling conflict. So if you do not want that to happen, I highly suggest you to get a calendar, whether it's Google Calendar, whether it's Notion Calendar, whether and does Notion have their own calendar? I think they do, but I don't know. Use Apple Calendar. I love Apple Calendar because you can synchronize it between all your devices, and this is so nice because I open my laptop and I like see my calendar and all the, I can show you guys if you want me to. You can find tutorials on how to do it, or I can also make one for you if you guys want me to, but it's just like so beautiful. First of all, it's fully customizable, and I have my to-do list, I have my calendars, I have my appointments, I have my therapy sessions, I have everything accessible on my watch, on my computer, on my main screen, like homepage widget. I have everything on my phone, anything, everywhere and anywhere. I have all my stuff synchronized across all of my devices. Having a calendar just literally runs my life. I have everything like work schedule, homework, deadlines, any movie ticket that I bought, and like the seats that are on that ticket and the times of the movie, like everything is on my calendar. You can look in there month ahead, 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead. You just like see all stuff that have been happening or had happened in the past or will be happening. Everything is just like so organized. And again, when you start using your calendar effectively, there's so much less room for any chaos in your life. And I think that's just, that alone is very powerful. Hack number 4 is tackle small things immediately. This is such a powerful thing. Again, I think all those hacks are just like so powerful and life-changing, at least for me. But if there's an email that you're dreading responding to, there's a call you need to make, there's an appointment you have to set, just do it. And I know sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, like I really do not want to talk to this person right now. I really would rather do anything but answering to this email right now. I know we all have this. It's normal. It's not anything weird. Just do it. You can, I do that sometimes. You just set a timer on your watch. I usually set it to 3 minutes, not 5, because I feel like that gives me a little bit of a kind of a more, hey, like you have to do this immediately thing in my brain. But when we have this little tiny tasks that honestly do not take more than 5 minutes, but we have them unfinished and unsolved in our brains, this creates the so-called gestalt. I think that's what it's called. And let me quote here. Gestalt refers to unfinished business or unresolved issues that linger in the mind and can cause emotional or psychological distress. I was a victim of this for so long. When there's like this one thing that requires one phone call and you just like don't do it and you walk around the whole day, and in your brain in the background, it kind of just like takes up your energy thinking what the outcome might be of this question you have in your brain. That would literally take 5 minutes for you to call and resolve this and figure it all out and like know what you can do next. And like sometimes I have these questions that can really drain me, just have me go about my day feeling sad and depressed, although it literally takes 2 seconds to get on the messaging app and just like shoot them a quick text, just be like, hey, can you tell me this, and that? That's it. And like I don't do it because I'm like preoccupied with other things, and I just like go about my day in this like unclosed gestalt in my brain. And honestly, if you can do it in 5 minutes, just freaking do it. Set a timer on your watch, on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop, whatever, on your clock, it doesn't matter. Set a timer, set a countdown, and do it in 5 minutes. And I promise you, this is gonna take so much of the like feeling of trouble and conflict and unresolved thing, just like take that away from you in such a short period of time. Hack number 5, get really organized about preparing for the next day. Honestly, sometimes a simple morning routine can either make or break your day. This had happened to me so much last semester when I had my one class that I had in the mornings. I feel like when you have everything set and ready to go, when you wake up, like let's start from you've had enough sleep, you wake up, there's like water, you know exactly what you're going to be wearing because your outfit has been prepared the day before, your outfit has been steamed, like the clothes has been steamed, your bag already has like all the stuff that you need and all the class materials or work things that you need to bring into classroom or to work, like your pen, your pencils, your like laptop chargers, everything, like whatever you might need. When your lunch is prepared, when your makeup bag is there, when you have enough time to get ready, like all these things. Because I had so many days when I had to brush my teeth in the office, like I literally had to like go to the office bathroom and brush my teeth there because I would like wake up 30 minutes before class, and the walk to class takes 30 minutes, okay, just for the context. And geez, it was like the worst thing ever because I wake up, I look frankly terrible, like I just wake up in my sweats and something, and at the same time I have to look professionally because I have work later in the day and I don't know what to wear, like half my stuff is in the laundry basket and it's just like a chaotic mess. And here's the thing, I feel like being so disorganized as you start your day is not just about the morning, it's about how you start your day and how you are catching up to things that you would have been already caught up to if you were to just be organized, if you were just a little more meticulous about how you were planning your day in the first place. Because I'm talking about, like, again, brushing my teeth in the bathroom, getting ready in the bathroom in the university or at work, instead of actually taking time, like focusing on things that I need to be working on, I basically do my morning activities and catch up to what I would have been by the time that like afternoon hits or something. And I'm just like taking time from myself. Does that even make sense, like what I'm trying to say? I hope it does. But the more ready you are for the day, the more organized you are, like your workout clothes is already there, or like you know exactly what you want to wear, your clothes is steamed, like your makeup bag is like ready to go, your lunch is packed, and like I spent a lot of money like going out for lunch when I didn't have to because I had a very yummy lunch at home that I forgot to bring or forgot to make or wasn't proactive enough to make and was too lazy. And once you start your mornings with a good routine and with organized everything you need for the day, you can get so much more ahead throughout the day than you would have otherwise. And imagine how big of an impact it would have if you do it not just for one day, but for a week, for a month, for half a year, for 2 years. Imagine how much further it can be. Okay guys, we're getting closer to the final tips, and number 6 is use technology to your advantage. Our phones are blessings and a curse in the same package, and I think that if you have problems with social media or if you have problems with doom scrolling and just generally being on your phone when you don't have to, not just that you don't have to, but when you know there are things that you can be doing, there's some really helpful things that you can use on your phone and in your browser. For example, you can use the app called Forest. It's a paid app. Actually, I believe their Android version is free. I might be wrong, but this is not the point. I actually hooked my husband on it. I think he's a little ADD as far as, I think he's a little ADD. He loves this app. I am not ADD. I love this app. So the point of this app is there's like a tree that you're growing and like you set a timer in it is like a countdown for whatever the time you initially set it to, and while the timer is going, you cannot do anything on your phone. Like you can go to settings or like text messages or whatever, but like you cannot open TikTok, you cannot open Instagram, social media, like what, you cannot even open your photo gallery. So basically the timer goes down, and then once you're done, if you have not given up, it grows a cute little tree on your virtual digital little garden, and you can plant with somebody, with your friends. I'm doing it again with my husband. And honestly, this is such a good app. You can like create hashtags of what you're working on, and you can kind of use it as a little bit data visualization of what you're spending your time on. And I am using it when I really need to deeply focus on something, because I know I cannot be listening to my little true crime YouTube podcasts in the back, or I cannot like listen to like whatever. I really just need to be deeply focused on something, and that's when I use Forest app, and it's really cool. I've heard they have a browser extension. I don't really have a problem browsing anything weird like or doom scrolling on my laptop, but you can also, as far as I know, use Forest extension, browser extension. So if you have a problem with doom scrolling but on your computer, this can also help you to not do that. There are also so many other options. There are things called like dumbify your phone, like dumbify your iPhone, dumbify your like whatever else phone you might have, and it essentially brings your phone down to the most basic settings. It basically makes it kind of like those brick phones that people used back in the day. Like your phone essentially becomes boring, and so I feel like this is really cool, because when it just like becomes boring, I feel like I'd rather actually work on my stuff, because at least I will entertain my brain with the things that I actually need to be doing. The most basic things you can use if you like don't want to pay for Forest or like get like a dumbify your phone, you can set timer that allowed like screen time on your phone for specific apps or for like multiple apps at the same time. And for example, it will notify you like, hey, you've been on like whatever Instagram for like more than 15 minutes, more than 30 minutes, maybe it's time for you to rethink your life decisions. Just kidding. You can use technology to your own advantage. You can go do your own research about what app extension setting works best for you. Try them all if you want to, see which one works the best and stick with it. Okay, the seventh and the last hack in this video is prioritize your mental and physical health. And I think this is going to be the most important hack in this whole entire video. I am all about being ambitious and having goals and trying to achieve them and working hard for whatever you want to have in life. I don't think you can just wake up and be successful. Success and anything worth having doesn't happen to people on accident. So obviously you have to work hard for things that you want to achieve in this life. Here's the thing though, I remember last year I was in my semester, like it was a crazy semester for me because I was like very OCD about having all A's. And for those of you guys who don't know, I am a software engineering graduate now, but I used to be a student, a senior at that time, so I had really difficult programming classes. I had several programming classes. I think I overall took up 17 and a half or 16 and a half credits. I was also obsessed with my weight. I was obsessed with recording every single calorie, recording every single meal that I've had, taking pictures of them and like whatever. I had zero social interactions. Oh, forgot to mention, I was also working on a certificate that has to do with like a kind of like a programming certificate. Not kind of, it is a programming certificate. I was overall in such a miserable, like I was going to all these classes, I was getting all my A's, I was dry. I'm telling you guys, I will go home after my classes and after work and everything. I would go home at like around 5 p.m. I would get in my bed and I would not leave my bed until midnight. Sometimes like 1 or 2 a.m. because I was like working on all these different things that I wanted to accomplish, like finding jobs, applying for jobs, working on my certificate, and then after I've completed that certificate, I was looking for a new one to start on, completing my classes, like trying to overachieve in every single aspect. And I started feeling burnt out pretty soon, but at that point I just like couldn't stop because it was like middle of the semester has passed and I was just like, I cannot just give up right now, and because I've achieved all these things, I cannot just give up right now. So I kept going and I just kept sacrificing social interactions. I sacrificed time outside. I didn't go outside. I am not lying to you. I'm not exaggerating when I'm telling you again. I would come home, I would get in bed, and I would just like be on my computer doing my homework. I would not leave my bed for hours. I would just get in bed under the sheets, under the blankets, and I would just like clickety clackety do my computer programming stuff. I even told my fiance a few times, I like asked him to not come over to see me, to hang out with me, because I mentally like I cannot allow any social interactions. I was just like in such a miserable place. And the point of this whole ramble is you have to be working hard, but do not allow yourself to get to a really depressed state. And we're actually coming to the thing about why I'm here wrapped in a blanket. I've been in another, I think, major depression episode this year, the first one since last year, because I've been doing pretty fine, but today I'm like, I think it's been like a week of me being really depressed. It's okay to take a break. Last week, I didn't do much. I didn't film content. I didn't program much because I programmed for my own like personal portfolio. I didn't apply for any jobs. I barely opened my emails. I like dreaded opening my emails, and that's okay. And you know why it's okay? Because once you understand that you're on the verge of burning out and being really depressed, and if you actually listen to your body and brain and take time to relax, maybe brain rot for a little bit, maybe do nothing, maybe take a day or two off, maybe take a whole freaking week off, I don't know. But this helps you catch up so much faster to being you. Because here's the thing, if you're running after your dreams, running after your goals, and you ignore all the depression, mental health, physical health, I promise you from my life experience, they will catch up to you. And the more you ignore them, the worse the consequences will be. The consequences will be no friends, the consequences will be no social interactions, the consequences will be depression, not being able to do anything for months. I'm telling, for some people it takes years. If they just like go, like keep going about their life and like don't pay attention to anything, any like mental signs, anything that their body is showing them, like stop, give me a break, I promise you this will catch up to you. And again, the more you ignore it, the worse the consequences will be. There are people out there who get into depression and they cannot get out of it for years. Even though they get on antidepressants and stuff, they still cannot get out of this. And here's the thing, you can just cross your dreams out of your bucket list, because once you're like in a really bad depression, it's not like you don't even care about that anymore. You are postponing your dreams so much, but not taking care of your health. I'll give you another example with physical health, because of course physical health is very important, just like mental health, but don't ignore your physical health. When you feel like something's hurting, go to a doctor. And I was the first person in the line to say, I don't have time for that. Literally not too long ago, less than a year ago, I was the first person in line to be, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna go to the emergency room. I'm not gonna go to urgent care. I have a class in like 2 hours. I cannot afford myself to do this. I have work, I need to make money. I promise you. And then I had such a terrible kidney pain that I ignored because I didn't want to go to a doctor. I couldn't go anywhere for a week or so. I could have gone to a doctor, it would have taken me less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours, and he would have told me exactly what to do and what not to do, prescribed me exactly the medication I needed, and half a day is what I needed to spend, and I could be just fine the next day, go to classes, go to work, keep living my regular life. Instead of that, instead of listening to my body, instead of taking care of my body and going to the doctor and resolving the issues right away, I decided, hey, no, I need to work. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. So I didn't. Guess what? I didn't get out of bed for a week. I could not move. Okay? I could not go to any of my classes. I could not go to work. I thought I was getting myself ahead of the game by ignoring my body. And what I actually did is I freaking put myself last, and I was just like 10 steps behind of what I could have been or where I would have been if I just went to a freaking doctor. You have to listen to your body, take care of yourself, and don't forget, yes, we want to work hard, we want to do all these things, but in the end of the day, if you're deadly sick, it doesn't even matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter. And one more thing I want to add before I finish this video is you can see people around you doing things like eating fast food for months in a row, getting 3 hours of sleep every day for months in a row, and you might think, but I know friends, I see them every day. I see people every day. They're living this crazy life and they're like doing this and that. And like, they're doing fine. Like, they're eating in McDonald's every single day and like, they're doing fine. And they're only sleeping like 3 hours a day and they're still alive. I see them every day showing up to school. Like, what's wrong? Why can I not do this? You can, but I'm telling you, it's a matter of time. It's just, you can take my word, okay? Take my word on that, because I've seen it all along. I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it in my personal, I've seen it with people that I love. I've seen it with the people just like in my point of view. It will catch up to them. You can have my word on that. It will. You might look at them and just be like, they're not telling you about the problems that they have. They're not telling about the pains that they have. They're not telling about their mental state where they're like on the verge to give everything up, on the verge of like unaliving themselves. Have they ever told you this? Probably not, but I'm telling you, time catches up to everybody. Time is a very stubborn thing. It catches up to everybody, and don't look at people around you and be like, oh, like they don't sleep for weeks straight and like they're fine. Trust me, they are not fine. They will not be fine unless they stop very soon and like work on themselves, and you don't want to be in that boat either. So please take care of yourself. I'm sorry for such a long ramble, but I really hope if I was able to reach out to one person and just like convince them that their health is so important and it's much more important than anything else in the world, I did my job, I guess. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I would appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel because there is so much content coming up and it's already on my channel about beauty, productivity, all this stuff. So let me know if you guys like this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.